Hey everyone, welcome back to Substack Coach. Today we're going to be talking about how to tell if the efforts you're making on notes or otherwise to grow your Substack is actually making any difference. So let's dive right in. One of the biggest mistakes I see people make on Substack is measuring the wrong things. So a note gets 5 likes and they assume that it failed. An article gets fewer comments than expected and suddenly they think no one is reading. But Substack is not built like Instagram or TikTok, as I've covered in previous videos. The most important engagement on Substack is often invisible as compared to likes and comments. Today, I want to show you the 3 stats pages that I pay the most attention to. Overall growth, specifically to know where your traffic is coming from. The post stats, the details of who's reading your posts. And the notes stats, which have recently been improved, and you can really tell how your visibility is growing as compared to just likes and comments. More importantly, I want to show you how I interpret these numbers strategically rather than emotionally. So first of all, we're going to take a look at the overall growth tab. So I'm just going to share my screen here. All right, so I am on the home page of my dashboard. I'm signed in. This is my dashboard, and this is the home page. On the left side menu here underneath audience, I'm going to click on growth. The first thing it pulls up is this chart. It's always going to show 30 days. I like to narrow it down, or you can also expand it, and you can see the little differences and blips. I had a post kind of unexpectedly take off here. So this is why it looks like I have nothing and then suddenly something. It's just the difference more so than the fact that this was low. But what I want to focus in on is this chart is cool and it looks neat and everything, but the important information is below this. So this tells you where your traffic is coming from in a way that you can take a look at and see, is the effort you're putting into gaining visibility for your Substack actually making any difference. So we're on growth and we have clicked on unique visitors, which is what gets pulled up automatically. And you can see that I am looking at different types of traffic. So direct to app, direct, and Substack are all, basically they're coming from. So the direct categories are a little bit confusing and annoying because these are people that arrived at your content on Substack from a direct link, which means somebody could have sent them something. They could have seen it pop up somewhere and clicked a link. The thing that this also tracks is people that arrive without doing any link pings or anything like that. So they can't track where these people came from. So direct is kind of the catch-all category. The annoying thing about that is it's usually the biggest number, likely in my opinion, because more and more people are, using services that don't ping back. So anyway, you can see here though that the second most active one or third is the Substack network. So this is these people arrived at your content via a link from somewhere else. So the Substack network is, these people are coming to your Substack from links on the Substack platform. So are they coming from notes? Are they coming from recommendations? Are they coming from different share links and things like that? Other is going to be more of the share links, and trackbacks will be things that they can specifically see. Oh, these people shared something of mine and people came to my Substack. Remember, this is not a stat for a specific post. This is a stat for your entire Substack. But then you can see what's making a difference. So for example, I'm showing up in search for Google. My SEO is working. Somebody's sharing me on Facebook because I don't use Facebook, but my YouTube channel is creating some traffic. I'm showing up in different search this is my website, so that's creating a little bit of traffic for me to my Substack. The AIs are also starting to recommend me, which is kind of cool. So search is working, my SEO is working, it's creating some consistent traffic to my site. But now, besides unique visitors, you also have the ability to look at new subscribers and new revenue. New revenue is new paid subscribers. So that would be tracking how many new paid upgrades you get. New subscribers are people that didn't just visit your site, but they subscribed to you. So that it's a proportion of how many people visited. So you can see here with Substack, I'm getting people coming from notes. This one is the one that pretty much went viral and got me a ton of views and subscriptions. And then more and more, you can see how it goes down here. It tracks every note and how many subscribers you get from it. You can also see people are coming from other, of course. And then there's onboarding. Onboarding is when someone subscribes to Substack, they check off what topics are they interested in, and then Substack recommends several different publications for them to subscribe to, and they may subscribe to all, they may choose which ones to subscribe to, or they may subscribe to none. So these are people that Substack recommended that I might be a good fit for them, and they chose to subscribe to me. Substack chat, so this is the chat threads in Substack. Someone came across one of my chat threads and subscribed to me that way. Recommendations are other people recommending me with their publications. And then people searching on Substack itself, people using the leaderboards to come, and also live videos. So Substack Lives will also generate some subscriptions as well. Okay, and then you can see people from the app, and then untrackable as well. I do have imports because I ask when I set up a coaching call, do you want to also subscribe to my Substack? And then there's also search. So we looked at the traffic side of it. People are also subscribing after coming across my stuff on the different search and AI and social media stuff. All right, so that is kind of your overall stats for who's visiting your Substack, who's subscribing to you, and then you can also look at new revenue as well if you have payments turned on. So now we're going to jump into an actual post. So when you send out a post, you do get stats from Substack. You kind of have this overall view here where it's like, how many new subscribers have you got from this post? What was your open rate? How many recipients received this post? What's your total views? Your total views are always going to be higher than your open rates. Open rates count only the first time the email was opened or in someone's inbox, or the first time someone clicked on it in their subscriptions in the app. It does not count all clicks. So views counts all clicks, including your own. So if you keep going back to this post, it's going to up your view rate and might skew your statistics a little bit if you keep going in there and editing it and all of that. So you can see where your traffic sources come from. So whether that's email, direct, app, Google, there's a bunch of different ways that people come to specific posts. Most of the time it will be from email. Once people have actually subscribed to you, they don't generally come back to your homepage. They'll be looking at your email as it comes into their inbox. I used to be at more like 90% email, but recently I've had more subscribers subscribing through the Substack app. So my app traffic has gone up while my email traffic percentage-wise has gone down. You can also track the links clicked or take a look at the links clicked. With links clicked, you cannot see who clicked the link. So it's just kind of a general overview of that. Now, these are kind of the general stats, but the page that I like to pay attention to, and especially if you're new, is the reach. So this is going to be blurred out slightly because it does have emails. So we're going to make sure that's not shared. But I want to show you this because this can be really encouraging for a new person using Substack. I know I found it that way when I first discovered it. So there's kind of your general stats at the top, but if you keep scrolling down, you'll see recipients. And what you'll see here is, first of all, the status, of course, is this a free or paid subscriber? And then how many times did they open your Substack post, sorry. So if there's only one open, sometimes that's like the auto opener in like the Apple Mail or something like that. But if they have more than one open, then for sure they have seen it. And if they have several opens, within reason, there can be like bot-like behavior where it's like, oh, this person clicked on this post like 100 times. Probably not. It's probably some kind of glitch or bot. But if the person opened it, 5 times, 6 times, 7 times, they're coming back to your post. They're reading your content thoroughly. They might get interrupted. Maybe they have to answer an email at work and then they come back to it. So this is a really great way to see that, hey, people are actually reading what I'm writing, even if they never comment, even if they never click like. And a lot of times that's what happens for me. So I will go through here and I will be like, oh, all these people, and I recognize a lot of these emails, they're still reading all of my stuff. I've never heard from most of these. I don't get a lot of comments and likes, but they're opening this one post like 4 times. So they're coming back to it. They're checking it. They're saying like, do I know this stuff? Do I want to, this one was how Substack Notes actually works. They're finding the information that I'm providing useful. They're reading it and they're coming back to it. So this stat under the post. So again, I got to this. I scanned through my posts. I click on the post title of the published post. This is the general stats. And then I clicked on reach and scrolled down. And then that's where you can see your recipients and how much they're interacting with your post. And this can be really encouraging for people who are not getting a lot of likes and comments. All right, so from there, let's take a look at notes, because we did a lot of talking about notes this week in my comment section, in my notes themselves, and also in the posts over the past month. So how do you know if your notes are actually even being seen? Because especially if you're coming from Instagram or Facebook, you're used to getting perhaps like thousands of likes or, a couple dozen comments. And then you come to Substack and it's like 5 likes, 1 comment, maybe 1 restack if you're lucky. And that can be really discouraging to see. So on any of your notes, and just for where am I? I'm on my dashboard, or sorry, not my dashboard anymore. I'm on my publication, and then I've clicked on notes. So I'm looking at this from a reader's perspective, not from my dashboard perspective. And then I just scroll through the notes, find one that I want to check on. So say, let's look at this one, 38 likes, 3 comments. So you click the 3-dot menu in the top right corner of that specific note, and then you click on View Stats. Substack recently improved this, and it actually looks really good now, and you can see a chart. It used to just be like likes, comments, and clicks, and that was it. So it's really nice to see a lot more detail to things. So first of all, you can see your impressions. How many impressions did this note get? How many new subscriptions did I get from this note? And then you can see the surface and the audience. So of course, my subscribers and my followers will make up part of who saw my note, but you can see that unconnected is actually reasonably high. So of the 800 and some impressions, 426 unconnected people saw this note, which increases the chance that I'm going to get new followers and new subscribers, and means that yes, the Substack algorithm recognizes where I fit. It's showing my note to people who are not already subscribed to me or already following me. And you can see here that I have, most people came across it in the feed. There's always the other category. And then some people came across this specific note after they had clicked on my profile page. Permalinks search, this would be Substack search. I'm not 100% sure what they mean by permalinks on Substack specifically, but it could be even how I got to this note through my specific note feed on my homepage. And then someone scrolling through notes specifically. All right. Then finally, you have the interactions, which you kind of already know from the top of this, is how many likes, how many people visited your profile after seeing your note, and then how many replies or comments you got on the note. All right, so that is a basic overview of the Substack stats. So one of the main things that I want you to take away from this is not that, did this note go viral? Like, I had a viral note. I didn't even show you the stats for that one, because that's not what's important in the long term. On Substack, what you're trying to do is not have a note go viral. You're trying to get more subscribers. You want more people to subscribe to your work, to follow you, to get your content, to learn what you're trying to teach, or to enjoy what you're creating, and to continue to grow your subscriber list, and perhaps down the road your income. So this is not, per post. And yes, I pull up the posts and I look at them, and I pull up the notes and I look at them. But what you want to pay attention to is this gradually increasing over time? This specific Substack that I showed you the stats for has been gradually increasing since I started it a year ago. And it's been increasing at an ever faster rate as I have more content, as I improve my reach and improve my what I write, both for the algorithm and for the people. And that has been, even without going viral, it's still been gradually increasing. And that's the most important thing, is not did this note perform really well, but is this note better than the one I wrote a month ago? Am I getting more impressions? Is this post getting more opens and maybe even a little more interaction than the one I wrote a month ago? So keep the long range view in mind as you look at your Substack stats. The growth tab is especially useful if you're wondering if what you're doing on external platforms is creating a difference in your Substack itself. So if you are, say, using your Instagram, your YouTube, your Facebook, your LinkedIn as kind of a top of funnel to guide people to your Substack, that growth tab with those stats is how you will see if that's actually working or not. So hopefully you found this helpful, and let me know in the comments if you have any follow-up questions. Thanks so much for joining me. Bye for now.